Yo, so what is good, everybody on YouTube? We are back today with a brand new video, and one I think you guys are going to really enjoy. You guys have loved all these career simulations I've made of these 2020 NBA draft class members, so I figured why not put it all together and do an entire career simulation of the entire draft class and see which one of them actually has the best career here. So of course we're going to try and follow all the bigger name prospects, and if anybody comes out of the woodwork and, surprises us, we'll watch them too. As always, smash that like button and sub if you are new. As you can see here in year one, Melo Ball secures Rookie of the Year with the Charlotte Hornets. You see James Wiseman, Anthony Edwards, and Obi Toppin also all on that All-NBA first team. And of course, we're just going to kind of watch by, check out the stats, and see all the accolades and possibly championships these guys get. As far as the rookies go, Anthony Edwards actually led them in scoring, but it was not enough to secure him Rookie of the Year. Number 2 overall, you can see, was Obi Toppin, followed by James Wiseman, and then a Melo Ball at number 4, who actually did end up getting Rookie of the Year, now up to an 81 overall already. And a little surprise there at number 5, Tyrese Maxey, being the 5th highest scorer out of all the rookies, despite getting drafted in the 20s in real life. Same with Precious Achiuwa coming in there at number 7. Nothing really going on here with all the rookies here in year one, as it ends up being the Nets and Clippers, and none of them have any important rookies on their squad. Kyrie getting MVP. And moving us into year two here, some of our guys are going to be going up in overall. You see Denny Avila chilling at a 78 overall there. We're going to kind of go through and see a little bit of the progression. Wiseman up to an 83 now as well. Looking at the T-Wolves, Anthony Edwards doing his thing, getting up a little bit higher as well. So everybody going up probably a couple overall points here into year two. So let's see what we got going on here in year two. Giannis Antetokounmpo ends up getting MVP. Tyrese Halliburton actually getting 6th Man of the Year for the Kings. Pretty nice accolade there for him. And most improved player of the year actually going to Killian Hayes here in year two. Looking at some of the stats here, you see Melo Ball actually leading the Hornets in points per game in only his 2nd year in the league. Obi Toppin creeping up for the Knicks too. Besides DeMar DeRozan, who they signed, he's the 2nd overall scorer on the team. Cole Anthony leading the Magic in scoring as well with 20 points a game now, up to an 80 overall. Over 20 points per game as well for Anthony Edwards here. And James Wiseman having a fantastic season, up to an 86 overall already. Hopping to the Eastern Conference and Western Conference Finals, because I feel like this is kind of where it's important if somebody kind of got to this point with their squad. You see the Celtics on this side, of course, they have Aaron Nesmith and Peyton Pritchard, and they're up against the Chicago Bulls, who do have Patrick Williams starting, so this could be a big one for Patrick Williams. And on the other side, of course, we got the Warriors with potentially James Wiseman making it to the finals, although they get swept 4-0 by the Lakers. And it looks like it's going to end up being the Celtics and Lakers here in the finals here, boys. See, James Wiseman having a really solid game there in that game 4, though, which is a real shame. I think in a couple years, though, James Wiseman might end up leading his team to a championship with how good he's looked early in this sim. And you see, we got the Celtics here in the finals up against this Lakers squad. Will Aaron Nesmith and Peyton Pritchard step up to help them get a championship? 4-0 victory. Jason Tatum doing his thing. And let's check out how the rookies did. And really not all that much. Only 8 points there from Aaron Nesmith. But it is okay as we move into year 3 here, boys. And you kind of see what everybody's looking like. Patrick Williams chilling at 83 already. 82 overall for Isaac Okoro. Big O up to an 84 overall. Precious Achiuwa up to an 83. Melo Ball up to a 90 overall already. Obi Toppin up to an 84. And we're not going to do this for every year. I'm just doing this for the first couple so you guys can kind of see their progression a little. Hero Lewis up to an 82. Killian Hayes up to an 85 already for the Pistons. Looks like they got themselves a little bit of a steal there. Anthony Edwards up to an 87. James Wiseman up to an 88 as well. Coming in right behind Melo Ball. Denny Avila and Cassius Winston actually both the same overall. MVP going to Trae Young, and Tyrese Halliburton actually getting his 2nd 6th Man of the Year trophy already. Let's see if anybody made it on any of the All-NBA teams. And both James Wiseman and Obi Toppin making the All-NBA 3rd team here in year 3, which is not bad. And to get us right into the conference finals to see how this is actually going, you see the Hawks with Big O starting at center. Actually, the number 2 seed overall and making it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Grizzlies don't have anybody real interesting, but the Nuggets, I believe they do have both Zeke Naji, who is starting, and RJ Hampton off the bench somewhere, so we could have more rookies potentially getting a championship here, and let's see how it actually goes. So the Hawks do end up winning in 6 on that side, and the Grizzlies kind of destroy the Nuggets in all honesty. No real huge production from their rookies there, obviously from the draft class. Patrick Williams dropping 21 in the loss, and Big O doing his thing for sure. So let's see if Big O and the Hawks end up doing it and securing themselves an NBA championship here, and they do in 4 games. Trae Young getting Finals MVP. Big O, great game there, 20-7. Of course, being a lockdown boy on the defensive side of the ball as well. Moving us into year 4, Big O getting his first big kind of accolade. And let's see what we got going on here as far as these All-NBA teams in year 4. You see All-NBA third team, we do have James Wiseman making it, so only big guy kind of getting on there. Back to the conference finals again to kind of see what everything's going on is. No real big name rookies on, I mean, I guess Jalen Smith. Let's definitely give Jalen Smith his credit, starting at the 4 for the Suns. Lakers don't really have anyone, and the Hawks still, of course, yet again, have Big O hold it down at center now at an 86 overall here. Let's see if he can go back-to-back, going to a Game 7 there with the Bucks actually end up taking it, despite a pretty good game there from Big O, shooting 7 for 10, and obviously his defense is very elite. The Lakers end up routing Jalen Smith and the Suns. So no real big implications for our draft class guys here, as it's the Lakers and the Bucks. Neither of them had a great draft pick here. So we'll see what ends up happening here. It's going to a Game 7, and in 7, Giannis and the Bucks end up taking it. Moving us into year 5, seeing how some of these guys are starting to get going, and really starting to get to the point where it's maybe their prime time now. Bol getting 6th man of the year. Let's shout out Bol there. But let's see if any of all the guys from our draft class are maybe on any of maybe the All-NBA first team. And would you look at that? Killian Hayes, 90 overall, now on the All-NBA first team, going off for the city of Detroit. You see All-NBA second team. We end up having James Wiseman at a 91 overall, holding down the center position. Only 24 years old, doing his thing to say the very least. And I saw Halliburton actually getting on one of the all-defensive teams. Melo Ball on the All-NBA third team as well. Got to go and look at this. Our Knicks actually end up being the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, of course, with Obi Toppin. Second seed is Big O and the Hawks. Third seed, Sixers, they are starting Tyrese Maxey, so I guess that's something. The Grizzlies and Lakers both really don't. Oh, the Lakers actually added Anthony Edwards, so they do have one of the bigger rookies now in the offseason. And of course, the Nuggets have Zeke Naji and they have RJ Hampton, but neither of them are getting a lot of playing time. So we'll see what happens here. We have the Grizzlies, who really don't have any implications for us, up against the Lakers, who do have Anthony Edwards. And on the other side, it is a win-win, as it's Obi Toppin's Knicks up against a Big O's Hawks. Let's get into it, boys, and let's see if one of our guys actually get an NBA championship here, or maybe even a Finals MVP. It's going to be the Hawks versus the Lakers. So Anthony Edwards is going to be potentially getting a championship, or Big O is going to be securing his second. You can kind of see a huge game there from them doing their thing. So in the finals here, let's see what ends up happening. Of course, we're going to switch over to one of those teams, just in case maybe it goes to a Game 7 and we need to hop into Simcast. And it's looking like the Lakers are actually going to take this with maybe some ease. They end up taking it in 5 games. Caleb Love getting MVP of the finals there. Anthony Edwards dropping 22, definitely very respectable in a big game like that. Getting his first NBA championship there, still not an All-Star yet. And Big O not having too bad of a game, but yet again, a defensive beast. Now up to an 87 overall here at 24 years old. Moving us in to the awards and all that yet again at the end of the year. James Wiseman, All-NBA first team. Love to see that. All-NBA second team, we got to check this all out. All-NBA second team, we don't have anybody. And All-NBA third team, nobody really as well. The Bucks holding it down. Nobody really important for us there. Second seed in the Eastern Conference, of course, Big O yet again. His Hawks are doing their thing, and he is balling out. Third seed, the Knicks. Obviously, Obi Toppin, a huge guy. Western Conference, Nico Mannion and James Wiseman both teaming up from the draft class to hold down that number 1 seed. Let's check out this Thunder team. Do they have anybody? They do not. Going to start looking into the league leaders and see if any of our guys are kind of at the top of the league. And right now it's not looking that way, but Jaden McDaniels coming out of absolutely the woodwork with 23.7 points per game. And right behind him, actually at number 14 overall in the league, Anthony Edwards. Pretty good, man. Kind of go down maybe I'll look at anybody from the draft class that's above 20 points per game and check them out. So you see 20.7 right there from a Melo Ball. Now at a 96 overall for Melo Ball. Okay, man, definitely getting up there. And James Wiseman coming in right around that point too. Western Conference Finals, you got the Warriors, of course, up against the Grizzlies, and the Eastern Conference Finals, Tyrese Maxey and the Sixers up against the Knicks. So most likely this could be a win-win as long as the Grizzlies don't move on, because the Grizzlies don't really have any of these guys. But it's going to be the Grizzlies versus the Knicks here. Seeing the Grizzlies game, I mean, they have Xavier Tillman, but he's not really getting too much tick for them. You see Nico dropped 22 in that game, and 20 and 16 was dropped there by James Wiseman in that L. And then on the other side, on the Eastern Conference Finals side, Obi actually stepped up and was the highest scorer to get the Knicks into the championship game here up against the Grizzlies. And it's getting a little gritty, 3-2 here. Can the Knicks get a game? But unfortunately, they get bounced in 6. Ja Morant doing his thing, securing them the dub. Moving us into year 7 here. So far, only one really big role player from the draft class has gotten a championship, being Big O. So, All-NBA first team, nobody from the draft class. Let's check out the All-NBA second team, of course, and all that. All-defensive second team for Anthony Edwards. Not really a guy you think of defense, but that's what's up. All-NBA second team, you actually have Precious Achiuwa and Melo Ball both on it, which is kind of crazy. Precious Achiuwa coming out of absolutely nowhere, honestly. Let's say that. But we got the Nuggets here in the Western Conference Finals. You see R.J. Hampton coming off the bench for them and Zeke Naji up against the Grizzlies. And then the Eastern Conference side, obviously more implications there with Obi Toppin's Knicks up against Melo Ball's Hornets. Can Melo Ball get himself a championship? Obi Toppin wasn't letting that happen as his team 4-0 sweeps Melo Ball and the Hornets here. And Obi Toppin plays his part, putting up 15, 10, 4, and 2. A full stat line there, doing it all. Up against the Grizzlies here, can Obi Toppin secure the city of New York a championship? It's a back and forth one early on. They find themselves up a game, and they take it in 6. Obi Toppin being the first player to single-handedly get that Finals MVP so far in this sim. Now adding Finals MVP to his accolades, baby. So checking in year 8 here, you see our boy Big O up to an 89 overall. And of course, this is just kind of the guy I check on every time. Regardless, you see Precious Achiuwa up to an 88, Melo Ball up to a 96, a now 5-time All-Star, boys. Going crazy. Check out Obi Toppin, and obviously a Finals MVP, now an 87 overall. 93 overall, Anthony Edwards finally getting his first All-Star appearance. Kira Lewis up to an 88. No accolades for him yet, just yet. Killian Hayes up to a 92 overall, now 4-time All-Star. You see Isaiah Stewart doing his thing as well, going crazy. James Wiseman here, a 5-time All-Star as well. Nico Mannion, nothing yet. Patrick Williams, 88 overall, but nothing. Isaac Okoro, nothing. And the biggest surprise of it all, Denny Avila is actually out of the league already. I guess they really severely underrate how he's going to perform in the NBA. All-NBA first team here, you see a Melo Ball and James Wiseman both making the list. And to check out the other All-NBA teams to see if any of our guys are on it, let's go ahead and do that. Third team, nope, and second team, nothing. So, looking at the league leaders scoring-wise, Melo Ball is number 2 overall in the entire league. Jaden McDaniels, number 4 overall in the entire league, which is kind of crazy. Like I said, coming out of the woodwork with that one. And to check out our Eastern Conference Finals, it's the Celtics versus Obi Toppin and the Knicks. Of course, Obi Toppin, huge performance last year to get his team Finals MVP. On the other side, you got the Lakers with Anthony Edwards up against Devin Vassell and the San Antonio Spurs. So let's see how it goes. Celtics versus the Lakers here in the Finals. You see Obi Toppin dropping 17, not having the best game efficiency-wise there, but Anthony Edwards leading his team in that dub to get it over the Spurs. Devin Vassell not doing all that great in that game. Celtics versus the Lakers. Can we see if Anthony Edwards will secure himself another one? But it ends up going to the Celtics. No real playing time from the rookies there on the Celtics side. I don't think 25 points there for Anthony Edwards doing his thing. Celtics, no real rookie implications there as they're still not getting big minutes to Nesmith. And Melo Ball, the first of the draft class to get a regular season MVP, and to go along with that, Big O getting a defensive player of the year there. Melo Ball leading his Rockets to the #1 seed in the Western Conference Finals here. And who are they up against? The Pelicans, of course, with Kira Lewis and Zion Williamson in the Eastern Conference side. No implications from the Celtics, but defensive player of the year and former champion in Big O, who end up getting bounced there, unfortunately. So it's going to be the Celtics versus Melo Ball and his Rockets here in the finals in year 8, boys. Actually, they have Cole Anthony as well. That is a tandem, man. Cole Anthony running 2 alongside Melo Ball. So let's see. Of course, we're going to hop on to one of these teams just in case this goes to a Game 7 or something, and we need to hop into Simcast. So let's see. Simulating, and all this hype for this Rockets team to ultimately get 4-0 swept by this Celtics team, man. Melo Ball dropping 23 and 10 assists there. Isaiah Stewart doing his thing as well. They had 3 rookies from that draft class on that team, but it is what it is. Moving us into year 10. Gotta hope for a better year here, and back-to-back MVP seasons there for Melo, and back-to-back Defensive Player of the Years there for our guy Big O. #1 scorer in the league there for LaMelo, and #2, his former teammate in Cole Anthony coming out crazy. #3 in the league is Anthony Edwards. This draft class is absolutely ruling the NBA right now. As far as the big man go, James Wiseman is leading. He's actually #2 in rebounds in the entire league, who's helped his team get to the Western Conference Finals here with Nico and RJ Barrett alongside him. And on the Eastern Conference side of the ball, of course, Big O and his Hawks still holding it down. And then the Sixers with Tyrese Maxey, I believe, still starting, and Paul Reed at the 4, who's also a rookie. So let's see how this ends up going. Will any of our guys get a chip this year, and maybe even potentially a Finals MVP? Moving us into the finals here, it ends up being the Hawks versus the Warriors. Pretty good game there from James Wiseman, dropping 17 and 13 in the dub. And to go and look at our Hawks, Big O dropping 20 and 18 in that game to secure us going to the chip. So this is a win-win for us here. Both sides, we have some implications of kids from the draft class, and it's looking like the Warriors have a pretty good shot at taking this easy, and they take it in 5. James Wiseman getting a Finals MVP, baby, putting up 30 and 13 in that W. So another very big accolade for this draft class, making it a really big toss-up early on who's having the best career. But of course, we have some more years to go. Big O getting another Defensive Player of the Year out here, going crazy on the defensive side of the ball, which you'd love to see. Melo Ball on the All-NBA first team, 96 overall. And we don't have anybody on the All-NBA second team, but on the All-NBA third team, we have Precious Achiuwa, and we have James Wiseman doing their things. Moving us to the conference finals, again, Nico Mannion and James Wiseman up against the Suns, who do have Jalen Smith. And then the Hawks with Big O, and then you got the Sixers, who actually no longer have... Oh, no, they do have Tyrese Maxey, just coming off the bench as the 6th man now. So let's see if there's any implications here. Obviously, preferably, we would like to see the Hawks versus the Warriors. That would be the best one for us as kind of everybody's careers, and that's what we're going to get, baby. Peyton Pritchard dropping 11 for the Sixers there, and Maxey dropping 7 and 10. You see Big O putting up only 3 points, but 18 rebounds. And obviously doing his stuff on the defensive side of the ball as well. And to look at how things went over here, Wiseman putting up 19 and 9, and Mannion putting up 15. Now this is going to be an interesting one with Wiseman being an elite center and Big O having elite defense from the center position. How this will actually end up turning out. Of course, this could actually get very gritty, but the Hawks end up taking it in 6. Looking at it, you see Big O dropping 8 and 7, not doing too much there. But at the end of the day, James Wiseman did get the better of him, putting up 23 and 15 in that game, moving us into year 12 here, boys. And in year 12, we're going to check out to what's going on. So Trae Young ends up getting MVP, and let's see where all of our guys actually ended up. All-NBA first team, none. All-NBA second team, I don't see any. And All-NBA third team, we have Anthony Edwards. And it actually did end up being Melo Ball on the All-NBA second team, by the way. So looking at the Spurs, I don't see any of our guys. The Trailblazers now have Obi Toppin at their power forward position, so that's going to be an interesting storyline to watch here. And on the Eastern Conference side of the ball, we have Patrick Williams starting at the 4 for the Bulls. And do the Cleveland Cavaliers still have Isaac Okoro? I don't see him unless he's coming off the bench, kind of in a 7th or 8th man role at this point, which is not what you want from one of your top 10 picks. But let's check out how it goes. So the Trailblazers and Obi Toppin ends up making it, and the Cleveland Cavaliers end up making it. Patrick Williams dropping 19 there, and Okoro is still on the team, just, I guess, coming off the bench. Not really what you want. Obi Toppin only putting up 12 in that W, so not the craziest thing of all time. And the Trailblazers, of course, you see Obi power forward. So let's see who ends up getting it. Will Obi get himself another NBA championship here? And it actually goes to Isaac Okoro and the Cavs. I don't know how big of a role he actually played in this win, only putting up 8 and 6 and 6 in that, which is what it is. And then Obi Toppin actually leading the Trailblazers in that loss there, moving us into year 13. Big O racking up them accolades. Christian Laettner doing his thing for the Lakers. I think he actually got a Finals MVP earlier in the sim. Big O getting another Defensive Player of the Year award here. Melo Ball, All-NBA third team. Looking at the league leaders as far as scoring goes and seeing where our guys are. Number 10 overall, you got Anthony Edwards putting up 23-ish for Melo Ball as well. So the top guys starting to come into fruition of holding down the top spots. Cole Anthony still hasn't gotten any accolades, so maybe extremely underrated here. The Celtics really don't have anybody with big implications for us here. But let's see if our guy Cole Anthony can pull out an upset here, as they came in as the number 7th seed. And they're going to Game 7 with the Lakers, and unfortunately they get bounced by Anthony Edwards, where he drops 30 points. It is what it is. So, of course, we're going to hop into Simcast, potentially, if this has to go to a Game 7. So, switch over to them real quick. Let's see if Anthony Edwards ends up securing himself an NBA championship here. He does, but yet again, not the Finals MVP of the game. Coming in number 2 in scoring in that one. Doing his thing now at 32 years old. Moving us into yet another season here, year 14, boys. And I'm very interested to see kind of who we can think is the best at the end when it's all said and done here, with all the accolades and awards in place. Another Defensive Player of the Year award for Big O, baby. All-NBA first team, no guys from the draft class chilling on that. All-NBA third team, you see we do have Melo Ball on it, and James Wiseman as well. None on the All-NBA second team. And here we go. We're going to just kind of simulate this. So it ends up being the Bucks coming out of the Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah, and so the Bucks versus the Pelicans. The Pelicans might still have Kira Lewis, I believe. Got to check that out real quick. And I don't think that the Bucks have anybody. Pelicans, they do have Kira Lewis still as their starting point guard. So one of our guys could potentially get an NBA championship here that really didn't have a great opportunity before. He's really just been a huge ball handler for them, putting up 6 and 15 assists in that W. But we'll see what ends up happening here. So it is back and forth early on. And it's going to Game 7. And in Game 7, we might have to potentially hop into this. But we do not. Jalen Lewis securing himself Finals MVP, and Kira Lewis dropping 14 and 11 in that game, so nothing too crazy, but it is what it is. And checking out these retirements, seeing if anybody... Wow, Obi Toppin retires really early in this. At least it feels that way compared to everybody else, but now that I think about it, he is coming into the league a little bit older than some of these other guys, so I guess that makes sense. So Obi's career wasn't too bad, though. He did have some All-Star appearances, some All-NBA teams, and he even had a Finals MVP with an NBA championship for the Knicks. You see here Isaiah Stewart and Melo Ball teaming up on the Rockets, making it to the Western Conference Finals up against Anthony Edwards and the Lakers. On the other side, you have Bronny James and the Toronto Raptors up against the Indiana Pacers, who really don't have anyone that's a big implication for us here. So we're just going to watch the Eastern Conference ones with a little bit of popcorn in our hands, see who ends up taking it. And that ends up actually being the Pacers out-dueling Bronny in that one, so that's interesting. And on the Western Conference side of the ball is where we have the bigger implications. And LaMelo Ball and his team end up taking it with Isaiah Stewart as well. So it could be a big one for both of them if they end up getting an NBA championship here. And it's not looking bad as it's tied up at 2 here. And it's going to Game 7. Do we hop into Simcast for this one, boys? Let's check it out. We might actually honestly do it here. This could be one of those types of games where it's going to be a sweat fest with how these teams have been battling so far. So let's go ahead and actually ultimately hop into Simcast here, boys, and see if maybe it gets really close and we need to hop in to kind of see exactly how it's going to play out. As you can see, it's kind of back and forth early on. And the Pacers, we have a decent lead on them here, but they're starting to narrow that gap as it goes down. A 3-point game, so why not hop in, right? So, actually, let it go a little bit more. A 4-point game right there. 37 seconds left. It is the Pacers' ball. So, if they hit a 3 or something here, it could be a very tough ball game. And, whoa, it's a 1-point game here for our Rockets. 35 seconds left on the clock. Melo Ball and the Rockets are going to have to come up big here if Melo wants to secure himself another NBA championship in this sim. A little step back move. 13 seconds left on the clock. Getting clamped up a little bit. Driving in. Dishing it out. 7, 6, 5, 4... and it is a brick. Oh my gosh, the Pacers could win this right here. The Rockets are going to have to D up as they are only up by 1.7 seconds left on the clock. Going right at Melo Ball. One-on-one against Jalen Green. Jalen Green pulls up and it is a brick. The Rockets end up taking it, boys. So Melo Ball ends up getting another NBA championship here. And who knows, potentially a Finals MVP. And yes, sir, a Finals MVP there for Melo, now 94 overall. After doing his thing in that game, very much being a clutch reason as to why they won at the end there. Looking into some of the player retirements, and you're seeing a lot of the younger guys who we consider stars like Ben Simmons retiring at this point. As you can see, Ben Simmons and Jason Tatum both out of the league. Moving us into year 16 here. So let's see how things are cracking here in year 16. Western Conference Finals, Nico Mannion still hanging in there at a 79 overall starting. A one-time NBA champion, and an 86 overall James Wiseman holding down the center position. Jalen Smith still starting for the Suns at an 82 at the power forward position. Eastern Conference, you got Bronny and the Raptors up against this Knicks team that has no real guys that we're rooting for. It ends up being the Suns versus the Raptors here. I guess the Suns would be okay with Jalen Smith, but at the end of the day, he doesn't really have any other accolades, so just getting a championship wouldn't be that big of a deal. They do end up clutching it out in 7 here, with Sylvester Holloway taking it. And you can see Jalen Smith really not doing all that much there, 9 and 10. Not really an electric stat line from a guy that we're looking into to potentially be one of the best in the draft class. Year 17 here. Melo Ball still at an 89 overall, dude. Kid is going crazy, to say the very least, especially this late into the sim. Let's see where some of the other guys that are still hanging around are actually sitting overall-wise. You see Killian Hayes still at an 84. So we're just going to ultimately hop right into the conference finals yet again. Spurs here, they don't have Devin Vassell anymore, I don't think. And the Suns, they're not even starting Jalen Smith anymore. On the other side, you got Bronny James and the Raptors up against this Knicks squad, who do have Cole Anthony starting now at point guard, but no real implications because they get bounced. So it is what it is, another season of just not much going on. Tyrese Maxey retiring after this season, and Michael Porter Jr. retiring, and some other guys, but none of our biggest name guys from the draft class, of course. Luka and Trey retiring as well. Moving us into year 18, Melo Ball sitting at an 85 overall now. Huge career from him, to say the very least. Definitely got to look into seeing what's good with Anthony Edwards. I'm kind of interested to see where he's at right now. 84 overall with the Lakers now as well, so not too bad in itself. And to me, this is looking like another conference finals that's not going to have huge implications. It's going to be Bronny James versus the Suns here. So, the Suns really don't have... Jalen Smith is still hanging around, but he's a 77 overall. And he's a 2-time NBA champion, but no other accolades from him. Not even one All-Star appearance. So, he's not going to really be in the overall, names of people that did the best in the sim by any means. You see Bronny James doing his thing. Kira Lewis finally retiring. Ja Morant retiring. Definitely some of the younger guys starting to retire. Moving us into year 19 here. Anthony Edwards still hanging in. 82 overall, a list of accolades. And of course, at the end, I'm going to kind of like say all the accolades, and you guys can kind of tell me down below who you think had the best career. Big O really regressed down to a 74 overall, and I think this is most likely going to be another season that there's no big implications on our guys here. Suns yet again making it in, and I think Jalen Smith might still be hanging around off the bench somewhere. Up against the Pacers with Jalen Green, and the Suns are up 2-1, but they start blowing it and actually lose ultimately 4-2 against the Indiana Pacers here, which is kind of interesting to see, and I'm assuming it's going to be a Jalen Green MVP. And it is actually Patrick Quinn. Okay, but here we go, looking into the retirements and all that to go see if our guys are still hanging around or if this is going to be the end of it all. Let's check it out. So Melo Ball making the Hall of Fame, Anthony Edwards and Killian Hayes. I'm very surprised to see Big O not making it, in all honesty. You can see he had some great accolades throughout his career. Cole Anthony, pretty much all the guys from the draft class retiring right there. And then check the jersey retirements to see where everybody stood out. You see Anthony Edwards gets his retired. Melo gets his retired by 2 teams. Nico Mannion gets his retired. I really think that they're doing Big O a little dirty here. Patrick Williams got his retired. Big O got his retired at least, so that's good. So I'm going to go over some of these accolades. I'll let you guys look at the stats while I'm talking, of course, where they finished all time as points and all that. So you guys let me know who you think had the best career here. So James Wiseman, a one-time NBA champion, but a one-time Finals MVP in that championship. An 11-time All-Star, one-time All-NBA first-team member. Melo Ball, on the other hand, a 2-time regular season MVP, one-time NBA champ, one-time Finals MVP, 13-time All-Star, 4 All-NBA first-team appearances. Anthony Edwards, 2-time NBA champ, 9-time All-Star, 2 times on the All-Defensive First Team. Big O, 2-time NBA champion, 4-time All-Star, 5-time Defensive Player of the Year. And, of course, Killian Hayes, let's throw him in there, 5-time All-Star, 1-time All-NBA First Team member, and a 1-time Most Improved Player of the Year. So you guys let me know who you think had the best career. There was definitely a lot of really great years out of these guys. As you can see, we kind of went through the total points and showed you guys where everybody fell all time here. And I think that Anthony Edwards actually was the highest out of all these guys in total points throughout their career, if I recall. Let's see. So you see Killian Hayes, of course, on the list as well. Let's go up real quick and see. Melo Ball came in at number 15. And yeah, Anthony Edwards, number 4 all time in points out of these guys. So there's definitely a toss-up here because he never won himself his own Finals MVP. He was a 2-time NBA champion, but never brought it himself there. Melo Ball, number 1 in 3-pointers made. Anthony Edwards, number 3 as well. A lot of very, very strong categories between Melo Ball, Big O, Anthony Edwards, and I mean, you could even throw James Wiseman into kind of like a 4-way of who had the best career here, man. A lot of really good careers, to say the very least. Rebounds all time, you see James Wiseman coming in number 3 all time. Big O coming in at number 11 all time, boys. Some very great production from this draft class. I'm definitely interested to see blocks, considering one reason, and that's because Big O was getting blocks like crazy, obviously, being like a 4 or 5-time Defensive Player of the Year. Assist, Melo Ball still coming in at number 9, so no slouch there. Killian Hayes, 14 all time, and definitely interested to see these blocks. Kira Lewis, 23, that's not bad at all. So let's check out these blocks, then I'm about to get out of here real quick, boys. So where is Big O? 11th all time, not bad. So of course, if you guys made it this way throughout the video, I really do appreciate it. Comment GOAT down below and let me know who you guys think had the best career out of all the rookies in this sim, of course. I appreciate you guys for watching. Bean out.